What if the biggest sports stars in the world weren't human? Imagine a world where giants, massive, roaring, earth-shaking monsters don't stomp cities to the ground. No. Instead, they pull on wrestling boots, step into a ring, and fight for glory in front of millions of screaming fans. Sounds wild, right? Well, today we're diving into a story about one town, one underdog monster, and a girl who refuses to give up, even when everyone else already has. This is Rumble. Let's get into it. Picture this. Every city has its own monster wrestler, kind of like a sports team, except the team is a 50-foot tall creature who can throw a bus like a baseball. Monster wrestling is the sport of this world. Sold-out arenas, roaring crowds, merchandise everywhere, and every monster becomes the face of their city. Now, there's this small, scrappy little town called Stoker. It's not much to look at, but Stoker has something special. A history of producing great monster wrestlers. And their current champion? A massive shark-like monster named Tentacular. Fast, powerful, terrifying, and the crowd absolutely loves him. He's just become the new world champion, the biggest title in all of monster wrestling. But here's where things go wrong. Right after winning the title, Tentacular drops a bombshell.
You're really leaving Stoker? I'm taking my talents to Slitherpool.
He's done with Stoker. He's moving on to bigger cities, brighter lights. He no longer wants to represent this little town. Just like that, Stoker loses its champion.
No monster means no money. No money means no stadium.
And if Stoker doesn't find a new monster wrestler fast, they lose their stadium.
The loans on the stadium are due in 90 days. And if you think you can replace a champion like Tentacular before then, it's crazy.
And without the stadium, the town loses the money that keeps it alive. The clock is ticking. Enter Winnie, a teenage girl with a big heart, an even bigger dream, and an obsession with monster wrestling that most people in town can't quite understand. She doesn't just love the sport, she believes in it.
You know what my dad always said? When you get knocked down, you get back up.
She believes in Stoker. And when everyone else is panicking, Winnie isn't sitting around feeling sorry. She's already got a plan. If Stoker needs a new wrestler, she's going to find one.
Bye, Mom. I'm going to Pittsmore to find Stoker a new monster.
So she does what any determined wrestling fan would do. She heads to the underground fight scene, the dark, gritty underground monster brawls that are nothing like the polished shows on TV. And that's where she sees him. A big, awkward, kind of clumsy monster fighting under the name Steve the Stupendous. Now here's the thing. Steve is not stupendous, not even close. He's taking a dive, losing on purpose, because that's what his shady underground employer wants. It's rigged, it's a fix. But Winnie sees something, a flicker, a spark, so she interferes. She steps in, causes a little chaos, and accidentally makes Steve win the fight. The crowd goes wild. Steve is confused. And his underground boss, absolutely furious. She's lost money because of this, and she wants it back.
You know what I really want?
The money, honey.
Now Steve is in debt, and trouble has found him fast. Winnie tracks Steve down and makes him an offer. I'll help you get the money. Let me train you. We'll fight our way up the leagues, and you'll face Tentacular for the stadium.
I can help you. Just come with me to Stoker.
Steve looks at her like she's lost her mind, but he has no other choice. He agrees. Here's the thing about Steve that nobody knows yet, and this is where the story gets really interesting. Steve isn't just some random monster from the underground. His real name is Rayburn Jr. His father, Rayburn Sr., was Stoker's greatest champion ever. A legend, a hero, the monster whose name is still whispered with respect in the halls of that old stadium. But Steve ran away from all of that. He left Stoker because everywhere he went, people saw his father, not him. He couldn't step out of that shadow. He couldn't handle the pressure of a name that meant everything to everyone, except him. So he disappeared, changed his name, fought in the dark, where nobody knew who he was. And now this girl wants to drag him back into the spotlight. Training does not go well. At first, Steve has zero interest in learning proper wrestling technique. He doesn't want drills, strategy, or discipline. He wins his first official match by just running away. dodging everything, surviving by pure luck. It works, but barely. Winnie goes back to the drawing board.
What gets your heart racing, your blood pumping, What do you love to do?
And then she discovers something wonderful. Steve loves to dance, not casually, not as a hobby. The monster genuinely, deeply, passionately loves dancing. It's the one thing that makes him feel free. Not like his father's son, not like a fighting machine, just himself. Winnie has a light bulb moment. She redesigns the whole training plan, every move, every strike, every dodge, built around dance. The rhythm, the footwork, the flow. And something clicks. Steve starts to move with purpose. He's not just surviving fights anymore. He's actually winning them. Beautifully, gracefully, in a way nobody has ever seen from a monster before. They start climbing the rankings, match by match, win by win. Just when things are looking up, Tentacular makes his move. He and his slick, money-hungry agent have bought Stoker's stadium, the whole thing, lock, stock, and barrel, and he plans to tear it down. Why? Because that stadium is a constant reminder of Rayburn Sr., the only monster who ever truly rivaled Tentacular. Tentacular can't stand it.
I don't understand.
It was never about the money. Stoker Stadium is coming down because I want it to.
That name, that legacy. Every time he walks past that stadium, it whispers to him, "You're not the greatest." He was. So he's going to destroy it. Stoker is running out of time. Steve hears about this and something shifts inside him. All that running, all that hiding. It suddenly feels smaller than the anger rising in his chest. He makes a decision. He reveals who he really is.
My name is Rayburn Jr.
Rayburn Jr., son of the legend, born and raised in Stoker.
I'm gonna wrestle you right here in Stoker.
And he challenges Tentacular to a match. Winner takes the stadium. The crowd erupts. The whole town holds its breath. The fight is on. Round 1. Steve dances his way through the fight. He avoids Tentacular's massive hits, slipping, spinning, ducking. The crowd is stunned. Nobody fights like this. Tentacular is confused, frustrated, but dangerous. Round 2. Tentacular adjusts. He studies Steve's rhythm and starts countering the dance moves. Every spin, Tentacular is already there. Every dip, a fist is waiting. Steve is getting hit. Hard. In the corner, bruised and breathing heavy, Steve looks at Winnie. He's about to say it, the words she's heard before from others. It's over. But Winnie doesn't let him. She leans in, eyes fierce, voice steady. You didn't come this far to stop now. Round 3. Steve comes out swinging, not with panic, with purpose. The dance moves land. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3. Tentacular staggers, and then Winnie spots something crucial. Tentacular's suckers, the sticky pads on his arms. She shouts the plan across the arena. Steve hears her. He understands. He moves in, using Tentacular's own suckers to trap him against the corner post. Then comes the final move. They collide. A massive, earth-shaking impact in the center of the ring. Both of them go down. The arena falls silent. Tentacular gets up first, but he's rattled, dazed. He can't finish it. And Steve? Steve is out cold on the mat. The crowd watches, waits. Then it starts. Slowly at first. Clap, 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 clap. A salsa beat built from thousands of hands, the whole stadium pounding out a rhythm. The beat of the dance that made Steve who he is. Steve's eyes open. He gets up. And he finishes it. Steve the Stupendous, Rayburn Jr., becomes the new Monster Wrestling World Champion. The stadium stands. Stoker is saved. And a kid who spent his whole life running from his father's name finally found something better to run toward. His own. This movie is a love letter to anyone who's ever felt like they were living in someone else's shadow. It says, your story is worth telling. Your way of doing things matters. And sometimes, the best move isn't to fight like everyone expects. It's to dance. And that's the story of Rumble. If you enjoyed this recap, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments what animated underdog story should we cover next. I'll see you in the next one.